Coastal Alabama North in women's basketball. North winning tonight over Wallace-Selma. So North all alone atop the standings. Parsons and Pirates at number 2 in ladies basketball. Men's basketball. Parsons 11-1. The only loss this year was about 5 games ago when they took on Enterprise State, lost at 97-93. Taking on a Chat Valley squad that is struggling here of late. Losers of 5 straight, 6-7 conference mark, 15-11 is that overall record. Should be a good one. And the Pirates looking to go ahead and split things tonight. Have to make that the Parsons trying to split after the Pirates won the opening game in ladies basketball. Starting 5 for Chat Valley: Elijah Marsh, Tim James Jr., Omari Hamilton, Micah Hoover, and London Williams. Meanwhile, for Snead State, Malik Leach, Mario Andrews, Dante Bacchus, Aiden Lambert, Amani Thomas. Homecoming, good crowd on hand. And the opening tip controlled by Chat Valley. Toss going out front to Marsh. He'll work it to the right side, feed into the corner. That is Hamilton with a miss on the long-range 3. Rebound belonging to the Pirates. James for 3. Barely nibbled the rim. Rebounded by Thomas. Out front it goes to Leach, running the point. Sends it over to Thomas. The down low give, turnaround jumper, trying to bank it. Bacchus couldn't. And both teams with a possession, neither team with a point. Williams resetting the offense halfway through the shot clock. A little over a minute into the ball game. You got a walk from Hamilton. Snead State basketball brought in for the near sidelines. Homecoming king and queen. Coronated, crowned, whatever the terminology would be in between ball games. And as I mentioned, a great crowd on hand. And we're covering basketball not all over the ACCC, but in several spots. Got Wallace-Selma and Coastal Alabama North. That's in Monroeville with Jason Thompson on the call. Fed underneath and then laid up and in by Andrews. Down in Brewton, Alabama, where Coastal South is playing their basketball right now while the gym is being renovated. Playing Shelton State. Dallas Renzi's got that one. And I'm here. Dante Bacchus blocked it, but eventually out of bounds off Bacchus. Well, now the officials conferring, and I think that is in regards to the clock. And yeah, the shot clock at 20. And that was the indication from the official. From the corner, 3-ball a miss for Marsh. And of course this one, Pirates and Parsons. At the drive by Leach.
Foul is called against the Pirates. Shooting 2 shots for Snead will be number 0, Malik Leach.
Leach, a 75% free throw shooter. 14 points a game. He is one of 2 double-digit scorers. Of course, the Parsons feature the #1 scorer in the ACCC, Dante Bacchus. Parsons a year ago won the conference. That was as a D1 school. As a matter of fact, I think they knocked off Coastal South to win it all. This year a D2 team, which means they could play a Coastal Alabama. And you got the 3 ball from Williams. But it won't be a Coastal Alabama South, because South is D1, Snead State D2 now, but there is a Coastal North that's a D2. Leach feeding it over to Bacchus. Out front give to Thomas. Dribble to the hoop, Lambert with a jam. My, oh my. Puts it down with authority. Two-point advantage, it belongs to the Parsons. Over to Hoover. Then banked off the window by Hamilton. A couple of teams that have already met once this year. Met in Phoenix City. And it was a Parson win by 5. Leach trying to thread a really tiny needle. Not sure what was happening on the alley-oop. But James was going in the defensive mode. Into the paint, spin move by Bacchus. He banks it in for 2, averages 22.5 a night. And has his first 2 of the game. Hamilton picking up the dribble, fires over into the corner. Williams lost it, Bacchus has it. Over to Leach. And that will go out of bounds off of the Pirates. Here comes the game's first substitution. Amari Wiltshire into the game, and Elijah Marsh will go out. Like the Lady Pirates, as you got the 3 ball off the rim for Aiden Lambert. But like the Ladies, not a deep bench for the Pirates. The Ladies had 2, and the guys have 2. Hamilton with it top side, sends it over to Wiltshire. Back out it goes to Wiltshire, shoots the 3 off the rim. Lambert with the board. Over to Bacchus, back it goes to Thomas. Leached into the corner to Lambert. Trying to get into Andrews, off Andrews, and retrieved by Hoover. Halftime, by the way, we talk with Joe Whitmore, president of Snead State. Off the rim for James. Leach to the other end of the floor, drives into the glass. And there was a whistle and foul. Somebody reached in. That is going to be Leached. Here comes Marsh back into the game for the Pirates. And it will be James that exits the contest. London Williams to put it in play from the near sideline. Hamilton with the top of the key. Defending is Thomas. Andrews just took it away. Andrews, by the way, an escort for a member of the homecoming court in between games. 3 ball off the mark for Thomas. One side of the floor to the other for Williams. Working it down low, spin move, and the turnaround J. Makes it a 9-8 game. Parsons are the #1 rebounding team in the conference. And the Pirates can attest to that fact. Leach for 2. 42 boards, including double digits from 3 starters for the Parsons the last time these teams met on the 11th of January. Two-handed jam by Hoover. Back to a 1-point game. Out front it goes. Lambert drives, feeds to Thomas. Nothing there, able to get rid of it. Ibaka shoots the 3, short. Marsh has it, going the other way. It is rejected, eventually goes out of bounds, and finally gets us to the media timeout, which could have began as much as 2 minutes and 45 seconds ago. Timeout on the floor, and 12:15 left in the half.
Parsons persist, persevere, prevail. Develop skills to win on the court, in the classroom, and beyond. Be a champion. Be a Parson. Snead State Community College, where success is a slam dunk.
Casey Underwood, the AD, who was right there in the middle. Got the president of Snead State to Casey's right, your left. And now that's got to be security for Casey, and that's his bodyguard. Here in the box. It's his booth, and as I mentioned in the opening game, according to Casey, I do have access to the box. If at halftime I wanted to feel like somebody, he says I can go over there and sit with the president, the president's wife, and I'm just going to assume until told otherwise, his bodyguard. Well, we've made it to the first media timeout, and we've got a point that separates the two. Fed over to Hamilton, thought about the 3. Marsh thinking the same thing, but gets it closer. Trying to bank it, drew the foul. And the foul going to be charged to KJ Rogers, who has checked into the game, the sophomore, who has started 11 games. And is the first to come into this one as a sub for Snead State. We get things underway a little bit late because it is homecoming and there were festivities in between. Wallace Selma, Coastal North, Shelton State, Coastal South should be near halftime. And when we get a halftime score, we'll pass it along. Leach from the top of the key, trying to rattle in the 3. Rebounded by Hamilton. Saved back onto the floor, but it went off Andrews and out of bounds. That'll go into the corner. 3-ball a miss for Hamilton. Out of bounds off of Bacchus. Put in play to James, back into the ball game, comes out of the corner, brings it to the timeline, hand off to Marsh. And into Hamilton. Bacchus with a steal to Leach. Leach with a head fake. Rogers taking it, coming out of the corner. Brings it to the top of the key. 8 points a game for Rogers. Contact, Bacchus initiated. The 2 5s collide, and Bacchus is the guy that initiated the contact. And I'm not sure that Jeremiah Patterson agrees. He is expressing his disdain to the official. In a game that can't get any closer than it currently is. 11 each. 2 pretty potent offenses, though. You don't expect these teams to stay down long. Williams missing on the 3. Bacchus with a board. Both typically score 80 plus a night. Leach now with 7 in the game. Weeks apart the 11 all tie as we get to the midpoint of this one. Joe Whitmore, Snead State president, our halftime guest. A drive, a bump off the window. 2 from Marston, not enough. Bacchus, 3-ball. One of the best in the conference shooting the threes, number 3 in the ACCC Division II, hitting 44% of his 3-pointers. James coming out of the corner. Missed shot, Leach got it. Pulls up, turns around, too strong. Able to get it back. Over to Andrews, and there was a foul. That'll be charged to Amari Hamilton. And that's got Hamilton shooting. I make that Andrews shooting. Hamilton committing the personal. Andrews, a 63% free throw shooter. Top rebounder in the conference. Boy, when you look at the stat sheet for Snead State, you see a number of top 5s in the conference. Andrews the top rebounder, Bacchus the top scorer, Rogers number 5 in 3-point shooting, Bacchus number 3 in 3-point shooting, Lambert number 5 in field goal percentages. So a pretty good reason they are 11-1 in the conference. Looking for their 20th win of the season tonight. Hamilton with a miss, trying to tip it back. Marsh, he'll get the loose ball. Flips it back over to Hamilton, and if at first you don't succeed, you try it again. Bacchus wants another 3, dips this one in and out. Williams bringing it down low. Off the rim, rebounded by Xavier Price, who has checked into the game. Over to Leach, brings it top side, resets the offense. That is Davon Butler to the hoop. Parsons take a 3-point lead. Seven and a half left in the half. Marsh into the corner. Hamilton bringing it baseline, double team, gets rid of it into the paint, turn around. Hoover shot no good. Rogers to the other end of the floor, and it's dropped in by Price. Parsons take a 5-point lead, and the Pirates want a time. They'll take the break too at the 7:08 mark.
Parsons persist, persevere, prevail. Develop skills to win on the court, in the classroom, and beyond. Be a champion. Be a Parson. Snead State Community College, where success is a slam dunk.
.708 left to play, half number one. In a 2015 contest, I mentioned the last time these two teams met. A 5-point Parson win, 80-75. And in that particular ball game, Snead State winning the first half, Pirates winning the second half. But the first half win by the Parsons a little bigger than the second half Pirate win, and thus a 5-point Snead State victory. I think we just combined that timeout with media timeout. And that's why a 30-second Pirate timeout turned into a 60-second break. That'll go out of bounds off Hoover. Rogers over to Leach. Briefly into the corner to Butler. Butler thinking about the three. Says, I'll bring it a lot closer. Off the glass for two. Hamilton to James. Nothing there. Throws it away into the hands of Leach. To the other end of the floor, stripped away. Able to get it back was Price. Around the horn, Leach putting up the three ball, rimmed it in and out. Down with the rebound is Hoover. Back over to Wiltshire. Hamilton winds up on the hardwood, and apparently a Parson committing a foul. And a halftime score in Bruton, Alabama. Shelton State with a 41-40 lead over Coastal Alabama South. I think Shelton State in men's basketball has won maybe one conference game. And Coastal South right in the thick of things in getting a spot on the postseason tournament. So if you are South, that would be a fairly major setback. But they've still got a half to go. We're not quite at halftime. Three-pointer just a little bit short from Butler. Hamilton off the glass. James and Thomas battling for the board. Thomas gets it. 3 ball from Leach. And apparently the Pirates stepped across the baseline, bringing it in. And the Parsons will have possession. And an opportunity for the Parsons to grab the game's first double-digit lead. And tomorrow, baseball on JockJive, 2:30 first pitch, Pearl River and Coastal Alabama South. Leached with a miss. James rebounds and gives to Marsh. That was tipped by Butler. Thomas over to Rogers. Butler in the paint. Fell down, got rid of it. And prior to the Price bucket, there was a foul call. So there was a reason that Butler wound up on the hardwood. Andrews checking back into the game. Out of the contest goes Price. London Williams picking up the foul, his first of the game. .433 to go in the half. Joe Whitmore at halftime. Thomas fades, couldn't get the favorable bounce. Over it goes to James. Wiltshire drives. Bucket's going to count. He'll get fouled and has a chance for 3.
The basket is good. Shooting one shot on the main.
Wiltshire's and one coming up. A 53% free throw shooter who averages 3 a night. So a chance to hit his average on one play. Four minutes to go in a 6-minute game, a 6-point game. Thomas into the corner to Rogers. Too strong on the 3. Down with the board, Hoover. Coming in to take it away is Butler. Over to Andrews, shifts sides of the hoop and lays it up and in. Wiltshire over to Hamilton. Into the corner and goes to James. That's a long 2, too long. Andrews with the rebound, hands it over to Leach. Butler bringing it from the top side, lays it up and in. The game's first double-digit lead happens at the 3:03 mark. Hamilton picking up his second foul.
Foul is called against the Pirates. It will be
Lambert in and Rogers out for the Parsons. Ten-point Parson lead with 2.5 to go. Into the corner, Lambert. He's had a long breather over on the sidelines. Back in now, Thomas. Butler back into the corner to Lambert. And then a long time off. Didn't do a darn thing to hurt the three. Drive by James. James going to the stripe. 70% free throw shooter, 9 points a game. Got the Snead State baseball team here on this side of the floor, and I think they found the pirate that they feel like they can influence. And James a little bit rattled, looking for his first points. He'll get one of two, come to the sidelines. Hamilton goes in. Checking into the ballgame, Robert Rose. And Rose could not get to a toss that I think was deflected. Looked like maybe Thomas got a piece of it. Hey, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You are watching the game on YouTube because YouTube is now the media player of choice on our website. And yeah, we got short-term goals, and those short-term goals are to get about 10 subscribers a day. Lost but able to come up with it. That is Andrew McKind. And there was a Parson foul. So I'm not sure where we're at today. I know we're not at 35-70 yet. So if you just click that subscribe button, you get access to all kinds of stuff. Like interviews. The interview we will have at halftime with Joe Whitmore, president of Snead State, is actually available on YouTube. You get the alerts that say, hey, game's coming up. So many benefits. And wouldn't it be nice to know that you made us happy? Oh, that doesn't have anything to do with it. Okay, I get it. And a jam by Andrews, but you had a foul prior to the jam. Coming out of the ball game is McKind. Rose to put it in play. Does it from the baseline. Into the corner where it goes to Lambert. Back over to Thomas to Rose. Right at a minute to go in the half. Thomas backs up, fires the three. It's too long. Hamilton able to grab the board. Kicks it over to Marsh. That is Williams for three, short on the try. Off the rim for Lambert. Andrews able to get it to Rose. Thomas over to Butler. He'll shoot from the stripe and hit the two. Shot clock off. Oh, we've got your game clock into single digits. And the Parsons will take a double-digit lead into the locker room. That is Marsh at the end of the half. We are done with one. And after one, the lead is 11. Joe Whitmore, Snead State president. Our halftime guest coming up. It is great to have with us at halftime Dr. Joe Whitmore, the president of Snead State Community College. Dr. Whitmore, how are you?
We're doing great. Glad to be with you today.
Hey, let me say thank you very much for taking time out of a busy schedule. And two, we had a little technical issue. As you can tell, I'm not recording this in the gymnasium, so I'm assuming there was a problem on my end, but you've been patient. I appreciate that.
No problem. Again, glad to take part and glad to have a few minutes to talk with you today.
Let's talk about how you became president at Snead State. I mean, give us some bio on Joe Whitmore. What neck of the woods you're from and what got you eventually to Boaz?
Well, I was actually born and raised in Oxford, Alabama, not too far from here, about an hour south down in Calhoun County, and actually began my career in banking. My degree is actually in finance and real estate. So I was in commercial banking for about 12 years, and I had the opportunity to go back to my alma mater at Jacksonville State University and work in their finance and administration budget office. I held several posts while I was at JSU and really thought I would retire from there, and ended up having an opportunity to come to Boaz and interview here for a position as chief financial officer at Snead. That was in 2016. And it was one of those things that I felt God opened the door for me to be here, and it just felt like the right place to be. And I was served as the chief financial officer from 2016 through 2020. And in the middle of our COVID year that everyone remembers so well, the chancellor gave me the opportunity to step into the role of president upon the retirement of our previous president. So I've been in the president's role since 2020 and have really loved it. It's been great. We have a wonderful campus here, wonderful people, wonderful community, and I couldn't be happier.
So is it safe to say that when you were in banking, you had no idea that one day you'd be the president of a community college?
None whatsoever. Never even had the thought that I would be working in the field of education. But again, God had those plans for my life, and I was glad to follow through with them.
The one thing I hear specifically about Joe Whitmore is that you love athletics. I've even heard rumor that you've taken a few cuts in the batting cage. So which came first? I know there's a tie between athletics and academics from the standpoint of drawing an athlete to a school, but did you have an already there and embedded love of athletics before the academics?
Well, I've never been a great athlete, but I've always loved athletics. I've always loved being a part of it and participating when I can. Actually played in a 55 and older softball league this past year. I had a lot of fun with that, just try to stay active. But I believe real strongly in the college experience needs to include everything. Whether you are a student athlete or just a student, part of that experience of being in college are the things that happen on campus, being involved in clubs, being involved in extracurricular activities, and athletics is a big part of that. So I am very strongly involved in our athletic program. I like to get to know all of our student athletes and all of our sports. I like to go to their practices and not just batting practice, but have some shoot arounds with the basketball team. I like playing rounds of golf with our golf team, and I get a little nervous getting in the batter's box of softball. Those girls, I mean, they're standing just right there, and that's a little bit intimidating, but it's very important to me to get to know all of our students, but especially our student athletes, because of what they commit to be good. What they commit to, that our students that are coming here and just going to class and maybe that's all they have time for or what they do, but the additional requirements that are on our student athletes and the time and the love that they have for the sport that they're doing, I just feel it's our responsibility to do all that we can to help them be successful on the field. More importantly, to stress the importance of academics, help them be successful on the field. And I think all of that plays together in making our institution unique in how we approach our student athletes.
Our presidents have different philosophies, and I'm not saying one is right and the other is wrong, but some are more athletically involved and see the significance of athletics to a school. Others don't. But where you are concerned, what role do you see it playing beyond just the athletics, but the athletic program and what it contributes to the school and the community as a whole?
Well, let me start with what it does to our community, and then I want to move to what it does for our student athletes. If I could split that answer into two parts. Being in a small community in Boaz, Alabama, there's we like to offer not just our athletic programs, but our fine arts programs. We want to be the cultural hub of our community. We want to reach out and be partners with our communities, with our local high schools and middle schools. And there's nothing I like better is to have occasions on our campus, have activities on our campus that we can invite people to, that we can have them on campus. One of the changes that we made this year that after a lot of thought and discussion, we stopped charging admission to all of our athletic programs. We want our community to come out and not have to worry about how much it's going to cost to bring the whole family. We put a little bit more efforts in our concessions to drive them up to a little bit higher quality so that people can come here and enjoy themselves, because I feel that the more people are on our campus, we can engage with them, we can let them see what we have to offer, and we can be that beacon in our community of just drawing people in. As you know, junior college athletics are the real deal. We have some fantastic schools in our association and our conference here in the state of Alabama, and these kids need to be seen. We need to do everything we can to get people in the seats and to get people engaged in our community and get them rallying around our team. And just the dividends that pays is we've had the opportunity in the last couple of years to compete on the national stage in baseball and in basketball. And when we went to the community and said, hey, we're getting ready to send our kids to the basketball championships in Hutchinson, Kansas, or to Grand Junction for baseball, and we don't build that in our budgets at the beginning of the year. So we go to the community and say, hey, can you help us out? And it is amazing. And just last year when our basketball team went to Hutchinson, Kansas, in 4 days, our local community raised over $20,000 to help these kids be able to take this trip and it not just be, let's go play and come home, but to get them experience the trip, experience the travel, experience the opportunity of being able to compete on a national stage and how important that is for them in the long run. So those community partnerships, those community engagement things, when you go and ask them to help, they're willing to help because they've been on our campus, they've been to our games, they get to know our kids. And I think that's very important. The other part of that is looking at it from the student aspect. Why is athletics important for our students? And there's a lot of reasons for that, but the main one to me is collegiality and teamwork. When these kids put down the bat for the last time, hang up their basketball jerseys, and they're in the world, they're raising their families, they're getting the job in whatever their profession is going to be, they're going to have to understand what teamwork is about, how to work with that person that sits at the desk across from you, is in the office next door to you, or that's on the floor of the company that you're working for. Building those relationships with a team, building those relationships through athletics, understanding the relationships between coaches and players and co-players. I think that's really critical that we instill that into our student athletes so that they are prepared when they get to whatever profession they're headed for. Just having the skill to do that job is important, but it's the things that surround that skill, getting along with people, conflict resolution, critical thinking, all the things that athletics builds up in the people, in our students. I think it's important that we give them every opportunity to do that. Because as I said, a lot of these kids are going to get to play at the next level, but there's coming a day when we all have to put the games we love aside and move on into the world. And I think that's where we build character in these students. We build the opportunities for relationships in these students, and we just put that foundation in place that helps them be successful, not just academically, but in all parts of what they are, what they're becoming.
You did not enjoy success in the financial world, and now as president of Snead State, without being a goal setter, having those goals that you would like to achieve and attain, having plans in place. So where do you see Snead State in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years down the road? What would you like to see that might not be in place in 2024 that you might like in place in 2030?
The most important thing to me is that we are an institution that's changing lives. If we can change one life per day, everyone on this campus can do that and make a difference in our students' life, whether they're an athlete or not. That's what our goal is. our enrollment has seen tremendous growth since the COVID years. We were up 30% last year. We're one of the fastest growing schools in the community college system, Alabama community college system, based on headcount enrollment. We went up about 30% last year. We're up over 10%. We're in double-digit growth this year. We're getting more into the high schools. Dual enrollment is a big part of our growth, and getting to these students as early as possible and helping them to develop their paths. I'm the perfect example of when I got out of college, I thought I knew what I wanted to do, and I did. And I wouldn't be where I am today if it wasn't for the foundation that I built when I was in finance and in banking. But it's okay if students don't know what they want to do in the 8th grade or 9th grade or 10th grade, but it's incumbent upon us to be able to touch those students and reach out and connect with them in ways so that we can show them different paths and we can show them different opportunities and let them know what their options could be. So what I hope we can do in the next few years is just continue to be able to have impact on young people's lives and adult lives. You know, part of what we do in our especially in our career tech education is adult learners, people that are in the workforce that need an additional skill to get a promotion, to have an opportunity to better themselves. Because when we help one person and that student can go home and have an impact on their family and start adding to the value of their family by what they're doing, that family becomes better. When the families in our communities get better, they are creating a better quality of life for everyone else. They're contributing to the tax base. That allows the communities to grow. It allows the communities to create things that draw people in, and it allows our areas to grow. And that just gives us more opportunities to make impacts on lives and to impact the students that are around us. So if we start small, if we just set that goal every day, hey, who can I help today? How can I make an impact on a person today? How can I help this person's life be better today? If each one of us does that every day, then it helps us all in the long run. And that's what I want us to continue doing, to continue growing, and for Snead to be that cultural center of our community, to be that educational center of our community that people look to and say, hey, these folks are making a difference.
Dr. Joe Whitmore, here's one of those instances where I wish halftime was 30 minutes, not just 15, because we could talk on and on. Hey, thank you so much for being our guest. And
Absolutely.
I'm looking forward to doing this again. Plus, you know, I'm going to be there for some basketball, some baseball before the year is out. We got to see you shoot some hoops and take some BP.
We'll do that for you. And again, thank you for what you do for our athletic conference. Thank you at JockJive and to be able to send this out over the internet and over the communications so that parents who are not able to come to all the games can see and participate, and those that are just want to see what this is all about can do. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for the opportunities you give others to keep up with our athletic programs.
Thank you, and thank you for being our guest at halftime.
Yes, sir.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. Half number 2. Parsons, the last time these two teams met, won half number 1. As I mentioned previously, Pirates outscoring the Parsons in half number 2. Parsons would like to just go ahead, outscore the Pirates in this half as well, and then you don't have to worry about anything down the stretch. Foul called on Micah Hoover. Pirates, same 5 that started the game on the floor to begin half number 2. Marsh, James, Hamilton, Hoover, and Williams. And where the Parsons are concerned, Same starting five. Leach, Andrews, Bacchus, Lambert, and Thomas. Marsh will lay it in the first points of the second half belong to the visitors. Homecoming here at Snead State. A lot of the crowd has gone on to the house. At least the crowd that was here originally. Still a good crowd on hand. A lot of the folks that were here originally apparently decided to stay until about halftime of the men's game. Thomas, he's got the three. Good to have you, though, still watching the game on the other end of the broadcast on JockJive and YouTube. Basket counts. James with an opportunity for three. And there's probably nobody happier than James. And the Pirates are now on the other end of the floor opposite of the baseball team, which spent the first 20 minutes of the game getting vocal when he had possession of the basketball. Missed the opportunity for three. Over to Bacchus, feeds to Lambert. Back out front, it goes to Leach. Bacchus drives, got the shot, drew the foul. Williams did it. And Bacchus has got a chance for three.
Shooting one shot on the made basket foul for the Parsons will be number 5, Dante Bacchus.
Bacchus at the line. 7 points in the game, looking for his 8th. The only double-digit score in the first half was Leach with 10. Hamilton able to snag the loose ball. Back to Hamilton, and he'll hit the three. Thomas down to Andrews. Feeds it back over to Thomas. Lambert's open in the corner for three. Splashes it in. So Lambert responds to the Hamilton three. Handoff goes to Williams. Thanks to Wiltshire, who is now in the game. Marsh in the paint. Couldn't get him to drop in and dropped out. Bacchus for three, off the rim. Wiltshire coming down with the rebound. Into Hamilton, taking on Bacchus, reaches in. Got a jump ball, I think, yes. Possession arrow, keeps it on this end of the floor. LBW is next on the agenda for the Parsons. They will travel down to Andalusia on Thursday. Meanwhile, a week off for the Pirates. They don't play again until Reed State on the 19th. Into the corner of Leach, over to the elbow, and Bacchus thinking about shooting. Then saw Andrews. Andrews apparently will not be credited with the bucket. At least the body language would suggest he's not. They are going to charge the foul to Williams, but they say it was prior to the bucket. Leach top side, goes down to Bacchus. Leach shooting three, line drive shot, rebounded and wrapped up by Hoover. Hamilton with a drive and the drop in. He's now in double digits with 11. Best scoring night of the year for Snead State, 102. And they've done it 3 times. Gone over the 100-point mark 3 times, and all 3 times to 102. And 2 of the 3 happened against Reed State. James back in, London Williams with his 4 fouls going to the sidelines. Squeezed into Backus, lost into the paint. And there's going to be a foul. Charged to Micah Hoover, and that's his 3rd. Dante Backus at the plate. I make that at the line. I guess I got baseball in my mind tomorrow. 2:30, Pearl River, Coastal Alabama South. New location, new time. Originally slated for 2 o'clock in Bay Minette. It will be 2:30 at the University of South Alabama. If it rained in Mobile like it rained here this afternoon, I don't know that the University of South Alabama will be playable. And it poured around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Parsons to put it in play on the opposite end of the floor from the baseline. An 8-point game, the lead was double digits at the half. Over to Leach. Goes into the corner, Thomas is there. He'll put up the long 2, it's not quite long enough. Andrews coming out with a rebound. And he'll fist bump it to Lambert, and Lambert missing on the 3. We've got to push down low. That'll be Backus with a foul. His 3rd. And he will come out of the game with Butler coming in. Hoover feeding it over to Hamilton. Hamilton with the drive. Thomas swats it away. Hamilton able to get it back. Marsh leans in with the right hand. It is a 6-point game. 2-possession contest and tons of time to go. Thomas with the rebound off the Leach miss. Hammered back out front to Thomas. Lambert pulls up. Butler had a good look. And not a bad pass. He just couldn't hang on. Pirates won the opening game, the ladies contest, 51-46. And you got a bump, Butler. Bumping Marsh. That'll be the 2nd foul on Butler. And in the early games that we've been streaming tonight, Shelton State, 90-26 win over Coastal Alabama South in women's basketball. And Coastal North knocking off Wallace Selma. Hamilton kicking into Marsh, fires the 3, too strong. Skying in the board for the board, James. Over to Hamilton, Off the glass and rim. Got it back. Second try good. And all of a sudden, the Pirates within 4 with 13:37 to play.
Parsons persist, persevere, prevail. Develop skills to win on the court, in the classroom, and beyond. Be a champion. Be a Parson. Snead State Community College, where success is a slam dunk.
There's a group of young ladies that represent, I know, members of the basketball team. I see members of the homecoming court. And I see Parson fans in the stand. Right there on that, fourth row. Here in the John Kitchens court, or on the court, on the campus of Snead State, Boaz, Alabama. Thomas going to KJ Rogers, who is in the game, lost it, got it back. Couldn't get the shot to drop, and now you've got an opportunity, if you are the Pirates, to make it a one-possession game. Fed over to Marsh. It goes in. Rogers fouled him, and the Pirates could draw to within 1. Got a timeout on the floor asked for by Jeremiah Patterson and the Parsons as the Pirates get to within a slim single possession. I got to give a little camera time to that young lady, because when I go down prior to the ladies' game or prior to the men's game, she will get me the starting lineups. If memory serves me correctly, she's been involved with the local school system for years. I think is retired. But obviously, all the people that contribute at the scorer's table, keeping the score, doing the PA, running the clock, running the 30-second clock. They're those folks that you got to have on game night. Butler over to Thomas. Back to Butler. Had an opportunity for 3. Like the higher percentage shot. Missed it. Got it back. And he will draw the foul. Marsh committing the personal.
Foul is called against Chattahoochee Valley. Shooting 2 shots for Snead will be number 1, Davion Butler.
Davon Butler, 8 points in the game. And a point away from double digits. Right about his per game average. 9.7 to be exact. Got them both, and he's got 10 in the game. And foul. Let's see who committed what. It is going to be charged to Thomas. That'll be his second. Pirates put it in play from the sideline. Over to James, given back out front. Hamilton. Jumper from the stripe. Marsh knocking it down. We've got a 1-point game. Coming to Thomas on the floor with the dribble near the timeline, right in front of Coach Patterson. Back to Rogers, top side. Over to Leach with 5 on the shot clock. Able to put it up and in with 2 seconds on that shot clock. And again, Pirates do in the second half what they did in the first half. Brought it in by stepping across the baseline first. And it'll be Parsons basketball with an opportunity to turn it into 5 potential points. But Butler the miss wrapped up by Hamilton on a single trip to their end of the floor. I haven't mentioned everything coming up. I mentioned tomorrow, Pearl River Coastal South baseball. Thursday night, Wallace Hansville Coastal Alabama South men's and women's basketball. Put back after the rebound by Hoover. Saturday, weather permitting, Jones County and Coastal South baseball, the ALA BCA game of the week. Carroll of Ozark and Arrington. And a Hamilton foul. In basketball, Wallace Selma and Coastal South. A week from tonight, we're finally back to America's Georgia. South Georgia Tech playing basketball on Monday night. Southern Crescent Tech, a women's game only. Couple of misses for Andrews. And a Rogers foul. In a 1-point game, 46-45. But if you're the Parsons, you don't want to lose the game. But you're in a pretty comfortable spot currently. 3 ball from Wiltshire. In that you've got about a 4-game lead over the number 2 team in Division II men's basketball in the ACCC. So to lose the 1 spot, you're going to have to go on a losing streak. Now, granted, as I mentioned, Parsons, no desire to lose anything. Butler responding to the Wiltshire 3 with one of his own. Back it goes to Hoover, gives it to Hamilton. Hamilton, the number 2 scorer in the conference. You got the 1 and 2 scores. Backus and Hamilton. Backcourt Wiltshire. Parsons with a basketball. They'll bring it in from in front of the Snead State bench. Each getting rid of it to Rogers. Into the corner it goes to Butler. He's got another three. Parsons hope they have weathered the storm. And they're on top to stay. Pirates, though, aren't going away. Over to Hamilton. Off the glass. Battle for the loose ball. Andrews wraps it up. Out of the corner, Rogers. Backus giving it over to Butler. Off Andrews into Leach's hands. He's got 14. Parsons trying to put a little breathing room between they and the Pirates. As you got a timeout asked for by Chat Valley. 54-48. Parsons with 8 and some change left to go.
University of Alabama Online, where legends log in. A tradition of excellence. Decades of experience in distance learning. Empowering students of all ages. More than 90 degree and certificate programs to advance your career. UA Online. Flexible, affordable, legendary. Let your computer be your campus. Visit online.ua.edu.
He's not sitting down on the job, just trying to get the best look. That angle on the floor had a camera in his lap. So that's not where he picked to sit. It's where he picked to take pictures. 8:13 to play. (54-48). Snead State lead. Their worst offensive showing of the year at a single game came against Motlow, where they put 67 on the board. Pirates' worst 957 against South Georgia Tech. As a matter of fact, I think we were there for that game. Back in, if memory serves me correct, November. Pin over to Butler, leans in, and there's a blocking foul on Marsh. And that'll be the 4th on Marsh.
Shooting 2 shots for Snead will be number 1.
Butler, a 76% free throw shooter, heading to the stripe. .47 to go. Butler, obviously a big contributor, nearly 10 points a game. Has not started a contest, though. Played in 24 games with no starts. He's got 18 in this one. Handed to James, handed to Marsh. Whips it down to Williams. Into the corner to Butler. Backus trying to get it to Andrews. Off Andrews' hands into the awaiting hands of Hoover. Hamilton waiting for defense to go by, put the shot up. It's blocked. Rogers walked with it. And you got Jeremiah Patterson pleading, saying he had a guy draped on his elbow. Official calls a walk, though. Well, since the last time I was here, got a new video screen. You see it there beyond the backboard on what I think would be the north end of the floor. Man, I could be totally off. Not real good with directions, figures, language, grammar, punctuation, history. Gonna walk. Rebounded by Hoover and then a little bit of a slide. But anyway, it is new. Huge video board. Leached with a miss. Over to James, squares up, looks, fires. And we're going the other way as that one will hit Hoover on the way out. Butler with an O-look into the corner to Leach. And he'll drop in the three. The lead goes to 9. Snead State asking for time as they rebuild the lead to 9 with 6:10 to go. And a final in Bruton, Alabama. Coastal Alabama South's men knocking off Shelton State by a final score of 88-81. So the men Coyotes of Coastal South stay in the hunt. Looking for a postseason berth, and things looking dim for Shelton State. Well, that's rare to say, isn't it? Their athletic program typically so good in so many different areas. Andrews coming out with the rebound. Kicks it over to Butler. It'll go out of bounds off Butler. Marsh quickly to the other end of the floor, trying to catch the Parsons off guard. Got a foul called on Andrews, and that will put James at the line. That's only the first foul on Andrews. And James will go to the stripe. 3 points in the game for James. He typically averages 9. 70% free throw shooter. Getting his 18th start of the year tonight. Wiltshire in, Williams out for the Pirates. James knocking down both. Seven-point game. Still lots of time to go. Butler, 18 in the game, looking for 22 strong. Hoover kicking it over to James, and James drawing another foul. Or was that a goaltend? It was a goaltend. Finally see the points awarded to James, who's got 7. And Rogers getting fouled, bringing it into the paint. Wiltshire committing the foul. It's his first of the game.
Shooting 2 shots for the Parsons. Moving number 2, KJ Rogers.
Rogers, a 47% free throw shooter. Coastal Alabama North knocking off Wallace Selma tonight. 84-67 in men's basketball. Coastal North getting to move upward in a Division II men's basketball in the ACCC. There is not a large degree of separation between 2 and 8. I think number 2 in the conference has got 5 losses. Number 8 in the conference, 8. So, though we are this deep into the season in Division II, there's still a lot of teams. As a matter of fact, every team still with a shot to get in. Snead State is practically in. I guess mathematically, I'd have to look at the schedule. Maybe they can drop out of the top 6. I doubt it. I mean, if it fell completely apart, they lost tonight in every game remaining, I guess they could fall out of the top 6. Andrews rattles it in. But for all practical purposes, Snead State pretty much in. It's the other 7 teams in Division II that got a chance for anywhere from 2 to 6. And of course, the attraction to 2 is that it gives you a first-round bye. You can skip the quarters. Hamilton over to Williams, shoots the 3. He'll hit it. Out it goes to Rogers. Back over to Leach, and Leach with the drive. 19 in the game to lead all scorers by 1. His teammate Butler next with 18. Foul called on Hamilton, I believe.
Foul is called against the Pirates.
And it is Hamilton, his 3rd.
Shooting 2 shots in the double bonus for Snead will be number 2, KJ Rogers.
Jay Rogers back at the stripe. He has got a single point in the game, averages 8 per. 1 of 2. And fouled, trying to come down with a rebound is Hoover. And it looks like we'll head to the other end of the floor.
Shooting 1 and 1 for the Pirates will be number 21, Hoover.
Hoover's the 64% free throw shooter on the number 7 team in the conference in free throw shooting percentage. Chat Valley hitting 63.9, nearly 64% of their threes. Their forte is from the floor. They are the number 1 field goal shooting team percentage-wise. Number 4 in the conference in scoring with 80 a game. Both of these teams average 80 plus a contest. I don't think either team is going to get there tonight. Williams coming into the game. Season high for the Pirates, 115. Marsh hands it to Williams. Backus with a board off the Williams miss. Rogers didn't jam it. 1 and 2 didn't, and he's likely coming out. Hit James in the face, but able to recover. Goes to Williams, top side. Misses the 3. Hamilton boxing out Butler. Missed shot. And eventually Hoover puts it in. .232 to go. We've got a 4-point game.
Parsons persist, persevere, prevail. Develop skills to win on the court, in the classroom, and beyond. Be a champion. Be a Parson. Snead State Community College, where success is a slam dunk.
Rogers indeed out of the game. Lambert checking in. Yeah, if you're going to jam, and everybody loves to jam, but especially in a game like this, you better hit it. You better jam it. You better get 2 out of it, or you just might come out of the game, and Rogers does. Lambert's in. Backus well below his per game average of 22.5. Goes to the stripe with 7 points in the game. Rogers about to get back into the game as Backus goes to the stripe. A 79% free throw shooter. Big points late in this one. And Backus, 9 in the game, 2 for 2 at the stripe. Over to Hamilton, thought about giving it away, puts up the 3-ball, rebounded by Backus. Leach trying to get it to Butler, and it will go out of bounds off Williams. Andrew McKine coming into the ball game, but we'll have a timeout first. Got a break in the action with 2 to play.
Timeout has been called by Snead. It will be a 30-second timeout.
Heck yeah, get their love of the game started young, really young. 2 minutes left to play. Handoff given to Hamilton. Rejected by Backus. Loose ball. Hoover lost it, able to get it back. That is McKine. And then there was a timeout on the floor asked for by the Pirates. It's a 2-possession game. There's 92 seconds left to play. There's a look at that video board. New to the arena here. Nice addition to a gorgeous complex. And from a one-man band's perspective, this is comfortable surroundings. In some of the arenas, it is difficult to be a one-man band. Play-by-play, your camera, you know. But here, nice seat, comfortable. The downside is they don't have any excuses. Marsh hitting the 2. Casey Underwood, Joe Whitmore, the folks here have made it so easy. I can't say, well, it was this. I didn't have good access, you know, hey. And giving me the best seat in the house. Big possession. And Andrews will get fouled.
Foul is called against the Pirates. Shooting 2 shots for the Parsons will be number 4, Mario Andrews.
Andrews going to the line. It is a 4-point game no matter what he does at the stripe. As Hoover is fouled out of the game, by the way, that was his 5th. But no matter what happens, it stays a 2-possession game. Andrews with 6 points. His forte is rebounds. Averages 7 points per ball game. Pirates don't have a ton of time. They've got enough, but not tons. Williams gets fouled.
Shooting 2 shots for the Pirates will be number 23, London Williams.
London Williams, a 73% free throw shooter. One of 3 double-digit scores for Chat Valley. One of the 3 we haven't seen tonight, Devin Graham, who averages nearly 14 a game. And you got Hamilton averaging nearly 22 and Williams just over 13. It is a 1-possession game. Williams out of the game. And it is James that's back in. Big possession for the Parsons. They want to drain the shot clock and get points. Butler leans in. Shot no good. Andrews able to get rid of it to Lambert, and now the Pirates have got a foul. And Leach will go to the line with a chance to practically put it out of reach. $19 in the game, 14 on average. It's a 2-possession game. That will make it tough for the Pirates and good for the Parsons. Parsons trying to win their 6th in a row. Pirates were trying to avoid losing their 6th straight. Eight seconds remaining. It is a 3-point contest. Parsons trying to hang on and win their 12th conference game out of 13.
Parsons persist, persevere, prevail. Develop skills to win on the court, in the classroom, and beyond. Be a champion. Be a Parson. Snead State Community College, where success is a slam dunk.
Eight seconds left to play in the game. Pirates, if they do not get a steal on the inbounds, foul immediately. And there's the immediate foul. Hamilton gets Thomas. Thomas will go to the line. Got the double bonus, so Thomas needs to make 1 of 2. You do, it turns into a 2-possession game with 6 seconds remaining. And the odds of overcoming a 2-possession game with 6 ticks on the clock, not good. You miss both, and the odds are much better. Snead State asking for time in a 3-point game.
Parsons persist, persevere, prevail. Develop skills to win on the court, in the classroom, and beyond. Be a champion. Be a Parson. Snead State Community College, where success is a slam dunk.
Dr. Joe Whitmore, his wife to one side, and athletic director Casey Underwood to the other. And he sure would like to see one of his 2 free throws go down. I think he would feel a lot more comfortable if Thomas would get this second free throw. Thomas is typically a very good free throw shooter, 79%. But of course, your typical free throw is not surrounded with all this pressure. The pressure of making it a 2-possession game. Big free throw. That should do it. Top of the key, off the rim, no good. Final score, 71-67. And the Pirates will win it. Homecoming sees a split. Lady Parsons lose, men Parsons win. Thanks so much for watching our coverage. Great to have you on the other end of the broadcast. Hey, don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Okay, maybe we won't be eternally indebted, but we'll be eternally grateful. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Threads. For all the folks at Snead State, more than 125 years in existence. And JockJive, a lot less than 125. Thanks for watching. I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.